Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner that I love London so. Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner that I think of her wherever I go. I get a funny feeling inside of me just walking up.
St Mary's, this area was a church, and it was bombed during the war and then knocked down, and that's why the estate's called St Mary's, because the church was called St Mary's.
I'm Doreen Bullock, chair of the TRA on St Mary's Estate. I've lived on the estate for 33 years. Lots have happened in them 33 years. We actually started the TRA in June of 1999. We had the first meeting in my house, and then we had a committee meeting. To set a committee up, we had to move over, went into the Vietnamese centre across the road, which about 12 people turned up. We got a committee out of that 12. There's 2 of us still on that committee to this day. It started because they was putting central heating in, and there's so many complaints of people being left with no gas. So I said, what we're going to do? So let's try and set this TRA up, and that's how it actually all started. We always go on at least 4 trips every year. We do fun days probably 2-3 times a year. This is to raise the money for the extra bits and pieces. So we always charge £5 for everything that we do. Is a £5, but every penny goes back into the tenants.
Come on, darling. Oh, you look gorgeous.
The elderly people come first and foremost, because we've got people that's housebound that can't get out here. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do a shopping. We don't have to do all these kind of things, but we do it because you care about the older people. We do. So we're either putting all the flies through for all the meetings and everything, goes, or we're popping across because we've got a phone call that someone's not well. We've had people gone past because the dog's not been right, can we get vets? We get everything. And we always turn out. If anybody phones us, we turn up. So we've got a rock solid TRA here.
I'm Françoise, and I've been living in the state for the past 10 years and working as a community member in St Mary TRA for the past 6 years. It's been a great experience. I've gained so many friends through the community that I never knew before, because coming here every Thursday, you see different people, you socialize, and then you get to know each other more. Yeah. So it's been great working with Doreen.
All in all, we're always doing something. There's always something popping in. I'm taking them out for Christmas dinner.
I have lived here since 1952. That was when I got married. I had a little house, we bought a little house in Queensbridge Road, and then a year later along came the Hackney Borough Council and kindly not confiscated but compulsorily purchased this little old house. And it was, we only lived in the bottom half because it was a bit derelict at the top, but it was somewhere to live. And I lived a few doors away from my mother-in-law in Queensbridge Road. And then when we got the order to move, so to speak, I lived in Queensbridge Court. They were newly erected and they were very, very well built. And I chose the first floor because I didn't want to live on the bottom. And I lived next door to my mother-in-law. She lived number 68, I lived number 67. We had a 2-bedroom flat. I had 1 child at the time and another one expected. So it was 3 daughters, 4 sons, and the very last child was Francesca, the girl. So God sent me them, and the Almighty said, that's enough. You've got 4 of each, get on with it. My mother-in-law had her family, and as hers grew up, got married and left the house, home, my family grew and grew. So in a way, we were one big extended family living in 2 flats. And that's how it was for many, many years until deaths. My in-laws died and my husband died and my children got married, etc., etc. And I'm still living there until this, from that day. And
So you still live there today?
I still live there in my 2-bedroom flat, and it's as though nothing has ever changed. We used to have very many long, well-established families in our flats, but as the years went by, you know, the old people died or they moved away to a better accommodation, and I seem to be the last living relic there. My husband was a good provider. He brought all the food home, and
What did your husband do?
what was Daddy? He was an ice salesman. He used to sell ice. Block ice, crushed ice, ice cubes. And it was a very, very hard job. Well known round here, Cudler, Gutty and Company, but he was one of the roundsmen. He had his own round.
Everybody knew each other. And also the other side of that was you didn't mess around, because the parents of those friends was that I'll tell your mum, I'll tell your dad if you're messing around, if you're doing something naughty, you think, oh God, I don't want to be told off by my mum and dad. So everybody kind of kept an eye on each other, and that was a kind of a network of safety as well. There were lots of places to go. There were youth clubs. You know, there was the local, there was Crandon Manor, there was the Lion Club, there was St Monica's. There were football clubs. I remember one. There was Eli. That was literally just across the road in Haggerson Park. I joined that for a little while, and there was lots of sports going on, and people joined in with local activities, and also you had lots of activities going on locally with the swimming pool, for example. You had London Fields, which is still open, which has been sort of brought back to life, which is great. And but you had Haggerson Pool, you know, which was a great thing, and the local schools used to use that as well, and you used that as well outside of school time, and it was a great place to go and meet and have fun.
It's Grade 2 listed. The council have done a really detailed assessment of the historic sensitivity of it, and that document has gone to all the bidders, and there have been a lot of things in the questionnaire about what people locally value about the building and why they value it, you know, as a landmark, as a community space in an area where there's quite a lot of divides and new people coming. 380 people filled in the questionnaire, and it showed overwhelming support, and in the meeting as well, for having a swimming pool back there. Even after all these years, people miss the swimming pool, the new people see the need for the swimming pool. There's a lack of school swimming. We know that a lot of children are leaving primary school not able to swim, even though it's a national curriculum standard. And so the next stages are that the information that we've collected and all the survey data is going to all the bidders, and then the council are going to shortlist them on kind of financial criteria, and there's going to be some way in which there'll be an exhibition or a public meeting of the shortlisted bidders where the community will be able to question again and hear more about the bidders' plans. So we're in the middle of a process. We're just hopeful because we have to be.
When I started my secondary school, Edith Cavell, which was in Queensbridge Road. On the first day of school, basically I got into an argument with a very good friend, still a friend of mine, Timmy Pike, and we had this argument, and we wanted to have a punch up in the playground. First day of school, first new day of term, etc. And we said, okay, we'll sort it out after school. And with that, he said, no, let's sort it out down the boxing club. I said, okay. I said, where's the boxing club? He said, St Monica's. I said, okay, let's go. He said, no, I'll come round for you. So he actually knocked on my door to go and sort this dispute out. And we never had dispute. We never had to punch up, and we become great mates, and families, friends know each other's family, etc. And I kept at the boxing, and did quite well out of it as an amateur, and I turned professional as well, and that's been a kind of mainstay, and that's been a thread throughout, you know, my teens and through my adult life, you know, through boxing, taking part, etc., going on to coaching, working with different types of groups in the community, where that actually kind of led me into being involved with youth and community work.
Mondays we do the Keep Fit, Monday evenings.
Hi, my name's Wesley Travis. I teach Wing Chun Kung Fu at the St Mary's Community Centre and exercise for the over 55s. I've been here probably about a year, maybe two. We was working in the youth centre at Fellows Court Community Centre, and from there it kind of took off. People just started to hear about us. Good community spirit, everyone's looking out for each other, and they just want to do more for the area. You know, give the kids more options.
Every 6 to 7 weeks the hairdresser comes on a Tuesday morning. And on a Wednesday we have this beauty hub, I think it's how you pronounce it. We have all the little children in playing the violins and this and that. Thursday morning we do coffee morning.
Well, she's got a bit of a cold, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's got a cold.
And Friday we've got the martial arts back in again.
2, 1, 2.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Where's your
8,
wuza?
9,
Ensure you have a wuza.
10.
So the Secret Garden, you've been here 15 years. Yeah. How long has the Secret Garden been here?
Roughly, I can't find an exact date, but it's roughly about 30 years.
30?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We should pick a date for a celebration, I think.
We should.
But yeah, it was originally, I think, a disused green space.
Okay.
But there used to be housing before that. There was housing along there, and that was compulsory purchased by the council and pulled down. And then they put prefabs in, and we've even got a street lamp over there still, because there used to be a road between us and the adventure playground next door. And I think it was, I'm going to say, there was a bit of a slide and a few swings, but it was mainly used as a dumping ground in the early 80s and a dog run more than anything
I mean,
else.
it's changed so much. Once we can see the shots, it's beautiful. I mean, who's funding all of this? Where's the money coming from?
A variety of sources. It is a community garden, so as you know, you can walk in through the gates. If the gates are open, you can come on in.
Yeah. Hold on, let me just say that again. If the gates are open, you can come on in. Come in! Where's
and
everyone?
Enjoy it.
Where's
Yeah. We mainly work with people with disabilities and long-term health issues, but it's also elderly people. School groups use this place as an outside classroom, so we get a lot from coming over from Randall Kamer.
Yeah,
and
beautiful.
Happiness Nursery.
Randall Cream is the primary school, just over the road there.
And Little Happiness Nursery pop along as well.
Yeah, so you're busy people.
So yeah, so we're open as an outside classroom sort of venue as well. So they come hunting for mini beasts and creatures and stuff. But we also work with volunteers. So obviously a lot of our volunteers are local people as well.
How many volunteers around from the whole community, isn't it?
It varies with the season, but roughly about 20, 25 people.
Hi, so we're outside of Apples and Pears in St Mary's. We've just come back because it's one of the few places in the estate that hasn't really changed much from when I used to play when I was a kid. All the playgrounds, everything we used to play on, my sister, my friends from school, people from the area, we all used to come here, and it's nice to sort of see over 10, 15 years later that it's still the same as it was back then. Yeah, I think favourite memories, I remember always just coming with my sister and our neighbours, we always used to play. And worst memories, I remember you always used to leave with like splinters in your fingers. So that was probably the only downside to it. But
I've lived in this block since 63.
Oh, it's done.
Over 50 years, I can't remember.
My
Our two boys were 3 years old when we came to the state. It's a lot different now, you know. You knew everybody, every single flat you knew. But because people move away and, you know, we're all getting older.
If you know where you are now, we're within 100 to 150 yards of one of the biggest parks in London. It's completely changed, and when we were younger, if you like, young men and married men and that, or whatever, and that, people from around this area never went up West End or any of that. We had the East End. Whitechapel was alive then.
There's a lot of changes, and what we all do, I mean, everybody that we see, we just want to say good morning, and they know who I am anyway, you know, because of what I do. But it's not just me that says it like that. All the committee members, they all speak to everybody, and that brings people together. But it's very difficult to get some of the cultures in to what we do.
I think about the community spirit for this CRA area is very good, very good. What I know about here is that there's this community centre and there's Doreen pulling people together, and Doreen's ability to go out and get prizes for her tombola and to raise money and then take people on bus trips to the seaside and to other places with it is phenomenal. I've never seen anybody as good as her at doing that. She's a real kind of community leader.
And I wouldn't live anywhere outside of Shoreditch. I love Shoreditch and I love this area of London.
My mum is not isolated. She has people she can come and talk to, Doreen and the rest.
I count my blessings. I've got a lot to be grateful for. I say I've got 8 children. They are my 8 jewels. Diamond, ruby, sapphire, pearl, you name it, they're jewels. You can't buy them. I'm lucky.
Oh, the trips are lovely. They're arranged by Doreen at St Mary's, and the trips are really, really good. We have trips on our estate. I live in Hobbs Place, and yeah, just bring the community together.
We are getting an AstroTurf fitted on the football park, which should happen before Christmas this year.
It does feel rather, doesn't it? Yeah.
So then we'll be looking out another thing, to get football kits for the kids. So it's another thing that we will be looking to do.
So this is actually the boys' football park and that other park, basketball park, and it was the older material, but you got 2 for the kids. So we're getting a grant called the 184 grant, and we worked with NIMTIAS to get this upgraded for the kids. We came down and saw the children a lot, and saw the state of their little knees and that, and we worked together and got it. So I can't remember the final figure, but it's a lot of money to do. But we should have a lot of happy kids on here now.
It's been great for the community and we've been looked after excellent, and hopefully everybody enjoy the new facilities.
We just want to do that bit more for the kids and try and get more people involved.
It's because I'm a Londoner